Your Favorite Martian, the band that I was listening to non-stop during my teenage years. Ray William Johnson, the creator that, thanks to his humor, voice and personality, got me interested in learning English to the point that I am now studying in college in order to hopefully one day become an English teacher. Well, yeah, those two names are extremely important to me, and I almost feel like it is a duty for me, even though I'm just a random dude on the internet, of course, to talk about Your Favorite Martian and their recent revival. But I know you must be thinking, how can my opinion be different of one of a fanboy just shouting out loud how this is the best thing ever without ever using any example to illustrate it? Well, the answer is quite simple to that. I have examples. And this will be one of my other objectives in this video, is to try to stay as objective as possible despite my history with the subject under study. Even though be prepared to hear lots of praising here and there. And in order to be as professional as possible, I definitely had to freshen up my memory and had to rewatch and listen to all the songs previously made by the band in order, now that it's been almost 10 years since the first time I watched them, to truly understand why I liked this band in the past and to see how the revival version is holding up compared to its older self. So in the first place, we'll start in a chronological order and check what originally was Your Favorite Martian before looking at their characteristics that make them stand out back in the days as the way to then analyze and see if the revival version of YFM have the same similar vibes or not. Alright, it's context time. Your Favorite Martian, also called using the acronym YFM, is a virtual band created by Ray William Johnson back in 2006 and comprised of 4 cartoonish dudes that looks like emo teens singing songs about a variety of themes such as parody, satire, and about stalking your mom. The band was unfortunately cancelled in 2012 after a dispute between Ray and his network, Maker Studio. But thankfully, as of 2022, Ray has now the entire ownership over YFM and can finally start making new stuff with it again, such as a pretty dope revival version of it called the Martian Multiverse. So I am not gonna go into a super mega deep analysis for each songs, otherwise it will take me at least 1 hour. The main thing I want to do is to analyze the main message and objective of some songs as the way to determine and see if I can put them into a specific category. This will allow me to verify if I can do the same with the revival ones, helping me to confirm if they indeed have common points or not, and thus how different or similar they are from having the same vibe as the old ones. Upon analyzing those, I realized that it is fairly easy to sort most of the songs into specific categories, except for some of them that can be quite subjective. Again, my interpretation of the songs are my point of view only, highlighting at the same time how varied the songs were back then. So the first category will be the emotional song. The objective will be to strike a chord within the viewer. For example, Zombie criticizes the toxicity and destructive personality of someone trying to get in a relationship for only his personal gains. The song uses a calm music in contrast to the dreadful lyrics in order to deceive the listener as the actual zombie character is trying to deceive the victim. Despite the song having a happy ending in aspects, I would like to interpret it as being happy only in aspect. Good script right there. As sometimes in troubled relationship, everything seems to be good at first, even when shit is literally hitting the fan. Emphasizing again how being in love can make us look away from the sheer horror of reality, at least for a while before losing those rose-tinted glasses. But what I love about that one is the possibility to either overthink its meaning, like I just did, or that you can just interpret the moral as being appearance doesn't matter, personality is better, and you'll still be right. Friendzone, and oh boy, I speak by personal experience for that one, shows us an outside perspective of someone being friendzoned as a way to show how toxic this kind of relation truly is. Not only this song could be interpreted as funny in some aspects, but to how ridiculous the character is by still trying to get into a relationship with this girl despite the infinite numbers of red flags everywhere. But then you just start to realize that the same happened to you a while back and realize how fucking ironic this is. And then you start to truly understand why the music feels so upbeat yet aggressive with some parts of the lyrics. It will be to represent the inner conflict of thinking that you still have a chance despite all your friends saying the opposite, as a way to make you finally understand the harsh reality of the situation, presumably for your own good. Yeah. Alright, that's enough for that one. Yeah, my eyes are getting watery again. Let's go to the other one. Alien portrays and describes this feeling of confusion, self-doubt, and solitude that is sometimes felt by people being bullied at school, but this time to the exaggerated point of being considered a little alien to further emphasize this feeling. Hey, also speaking by experience a little bit, kind of. That's pretty much it. I don't have much to add to that one for once. Let's get to the other one. Take Over the World shows the sadness and pain of growing up and slowly realizing that life is not what it was supposed to be when looking at it while being a child. It is described as being a bleak, repetitive and unfulfilling task, and that the only real way to escape reality is mainly through dreaming or taking over everything, but good luck with that. This action of dreaming also justifies the use of the protagonist, Nerd, a character representing a category of people that have a tendency to prefer fiction and video games over reality, to further strengthen this boundary between worlds. And also it's kinda cathartic to see him struggle after the Nerd Rage video. And speaking of which, now we get to the second category that I would like to call the cathartic songs. Nerd Rage, or if YFM have to do a follow-up in the future, will be called Discord Mod, depicts the exaggerated feeling of superiority of a nerd-like character that is feeling in control of his world and environment, aka playing with Star Trek figurines while touching himself in his mom's house. This is also yet again a song making fun of a stereotype, with a nerd being ridiculed over and over again for his impulsive behavior, lack of basic hygiene, creepy laugh and just being a dick all around, which gives an amazing and funny sense of satisfaction to see him being obliterated by everyone around him, mostly at the end. Yet, despite how it is being antagonized from the start, the very end lyrics make it hard to not at least feel a little bit of sympathy towards him. Probably out of pity, that is, but still, it's a welcome, bittersweet type of ending. Douchebag is a cool and simple song making fun of a recurring character in the Martian universe. The song has for aim to simply criticize the stereotype of the cool bro dude personality that we probably and sadly all like to face one day in our lives. It's a fun and quirky song dissing a lot of his attire and inexistent personality traits. Still a damn sweet song though. Road Rage displays the rage and pain felt by me when I drive. It is through the huge enumeration and description of stereotypes of drivers, the metal-esque music with the guitar and shouting, as well as the list of boring, repetitive things in traffic that really makes this the perfect song to listen to when actually stuck in a traffic jam. Bonus point towards the end with the same 5 song bits that use repetition within the lyrics to better convey the pain and the sensation of repetitiveness. Now onward to the third category that I would like to call the big balls category? Okay, never mind, I tried to do a reference to the actual YFM song, but it just sounds too weird. The actual name for this one will be the controversial category. Despite the name, those songs can be extremely interesting and funny, as well as offering a different point of view to a different time period, aka only 10 years ago. They almost act like some sort of a time capsule in a way. My god, I feel old. The first one on the list is called Stereotypes song. This one is definitely one of my favorite. This one completely annihilates the entire world by dissing a lot of countries and communities. I love how interesting and smart this song actually is, Because when you hear it right now in 2022, you have two things passing through your mind. The first thing will be, oh boy, this is racist. And the second one will be, oh boy, this is ridiculous. And if you decide to put these two thoughts together instead of just immediately disliking the video and trying to make an online petition in order to cancel the band, it makes you understand the genius behind that song. Its first objective was to actually make fun of stereotypes, not directly the people or communities representing them. Or they are actually being represented by them. Yeah, I guess that will be more accurate. The aim of the song is to mock them and not valorizing them. The second objective is also to show how united everyone on Earth is due to how every countries and communities have something in common, which is actually a stereotype. Thus showing, if I want to keep it short, that everyone is in the same boat, so might as well laugh with it than just trying to make war over it. Oh, sorry, I meant to say cancel people and furiously tweet over it, but yeah, I mean, we know humans are pretty quick to make war for absolutely just the dumbest reason. And the song is catchy as fuck too. It's been 10 years that every time that I hear the word stereotype, I immediately picture this song in my head. The other song in the list is called Whip Your Kid, a song that will definitely be in the Cathartic department, but due to how controversial the lyrics are, I decided to play it safe and put it in this category. The whole song is talking about the main characters dreaming of physically harming children as a way to punish them for their bad behavior as a result of bad parenting due to their neglectful parents. This song is quite interesting because it, as most of the songs in the Cathartic department are, give the spotlight to the little voice inside our head that we try at all costs to mute on a regular basis. Nowadays, a lot of people will yet again say upon listening to the first 20 seconds that, oh my god, this promotes child abuse, this is simply awful and should be cancelled, destroyed at all cost, which is simply ridiculous. Playing GTA didn't make me go on the street shooting people, reading the story of Oedipus didn't mind control me to kill my dad and sleep with my mom, and going to college and listening to lectures didn't make me intelligent in the slightest. Wait, what? So watching this video sure as hell won't encourage me to do anything weird besides laughing and vibing to the main chorus. Well, anyway, this song is a really cool one, throwing a nice diss at neglectful parents with both some high and chill energy thrown together in the mix. And the fourth and final category will be called the I ran out of ideas, the funny one, because they mainly focus on depicting a fun and simple story, even though some of them can share some characteristics that belong in the two previous categories, and there's still a lot of interesting things to say. For example, Tiggle Bitties shows the, let's call it the struggle of puberty. Yeah, that's definitely, let's go with that. Not only jokes around with the fact that all teenagers love boobs, with a plethora of fun comparisons, but also shows the struggle that teenagers have to endure with the growth of the body and how it can affect their behavior on the psychological level. What I love about these songs is how it starts fairly innocently with just a fun story about a guy being only attracted to a physical part of her body without caring about the girl herself, to then him having his dreams being shattered after realizing that she stuffed a bra, which is actually a nice subversion of expectation, to be honest, to then him accepting her as who she actually is and not wishes to be, thus sending an important message that even if some physical traits like being tall, having a nice face, or even having nice hair may be important to attract people in the first place, that's the person in possession of those physical traits is more important in the end. Also, on a side note, it's my first YFM song that I ever heard, and that compelled me to actually learn English in the first place because I couldn't understand a single thing. And yeah, the instruments, ridiculous lyrics, even though I couldn't understand, but fuck it, musical construction of the songs are so well made that it's somehow inspired me to this extent. Also, I was a young teen at that time, so I guess that's also maybe why this song struck me that much. But anyway, after that, here you go, we're done with the song. Yeah, there's also a few more songs, and by few I mean at least 20 more songs I could put in all of the previous category alone. For this one, the other would have been, for example, Stalking Your Mom because of its fun little story, My Balls for how immature the story is despite being such a banger, including its remake, Booty Storm, that's kinda the same, you know, joke vibes feeling to it, Epileptic Techno for its speed and trippiness, Everyday Fight for its epic catchiness and intensity, 8-Bit World and how is it such a banger, come on, plus about its little criticism about modernity, and way many more songs, like, I don't know, Orphan Tears, that we're gonna check out in about 20 seconds. To sum it up, YFM had charisma and a huge catalogue of songs covering a large variety of musical genre. It also had no fear of making fun of celebrities, stereotypes, societal issues, and much more. Your Favorite Martian, literally, like the song, had huge balls, on top of having a charming design with simple looking yet touching characters. But is the revival version still in possession of such traits, or with time did all of it just fade away? Well, let's check this out, and in order to do so we have to analyze the 3 parts of the Orphan Tears songs, starting with the first part that was released 10 years ago. At first, the first part of Orphan Tears never really was my favorite song. It was still up there compared to the other songs that I found too emotional to my liking, such as Alien or Zombie. I always preferred faster and more upbeat songs such as Nerd Rage or Fight for It, but still, I like this song for its similar psychedelic vibes with epileptic techno and such, but it was a bit too slow to my liking. Its story is also very simple. The band goes to a nightclub, decides to order a powerful drink, and start to completely hallucinate the weirdest shit possible, and here you have it. I find that one of the most interesting part of the story, and how the trippiness is reflected by using the supernatural dreamlike apparitions as a way to surprise the audience without feeling too random to be appreciated. And that's still, it sounds pretty easy to do, but it's still pretty fucking hard. It is true that in the first part, some of them can't feel that way with the random Bill Cosby apparitions, the drink itself and its unknown weird origins, but spoiler, it is actually fixed and explained in the following parts. Which is kinda too bad because I like the fact that you could just speculate about it, but whatever. Not only this ties up a lot of loose ends in the process, but is also able to literally continue the main story by linking elements together, which is really awesome, and more on that later. The meaning behind the story is kinda tough to interpret about the first part, so much that I was simply willing to give up and say fuck it. It's a criticism of the industry that is heartlessly exploiting young workforce, as it happens a lot in the world. But man, I just felt that I was also just probably reading a bit too much into it. But then now that with the other parts, I just realized it's the actual fucking case. Cool. Well, I mean, no, it's absolutely despicable. My god, just, ooh, poor orphans. Ooh, shit. Oh no. It was groovy, trippy, there was a lot of intentionally weird references, and now I just can't wait to dive deeper into its follow-up. So yeah, let's do that. That's a good way to link parts within within the script. The first striking elements that came to my mind while watching the video of Orphan Tears Part 2 were the following. Is this different art style holding up? Is it a bad thing that I found the music too similar to the original despite being a follow-up? And most importantly, does it have this old YFM vibe to it? First of all, I wasn't that fond of this new art style, but after rewatching it multiple times and comparing it to the previous songs, I realized it's like an HD version of that original style right there. It's maybe not as detailed as this other one right here, that actually was my favorite for a long time, but it's still doing an amazing job as a revival version of its former self. Its simplicity contributes in giving the same cool, similar vibes as before, while still having this nice layer of fresh paint applied to it. You know this feeling. It's really nice. But now, what about the music itself? Is it that different? Yes, no, well, there's a lot of things to talk about, so I'll just enumerate them in a list to keep things quick. The little sound interjections in between sentences are still there to add a subtle comedic effect to the descriptions. The same trippy and hallucinogenic description are still present while still being fairly different and surprising to keep things new. The cast is similar with Ray, Wax, sadly no DJ because he was being replaced with Stevie for that part, another character from Ray's other musical band, but it is utilized as a cool way to remix and add to the main chorus. Wax solo is still fucking amazing. The chorus has now a new second part to it with Stevie singing the first part before Ray resumes it by the main one that we all know and love. The tone in Ray's voice is less intense and expresses less shock compared to the original one, but it is used as a way to better bring in the last more emotional story elements and reveal about the Orphan Tear drink at the end. In conclusion, despite the song sounding extremely similar to the original one at first, there are lots of elements making it still stand out with its different tone. But it is true that compared to the third part that we will check out in about 20 minutes yet again, it feels more like a remix than anything else, which is far from being a bad thing. But I do think that the most striking part is how it evolved from being just a simple song to a story with continuity in between parts, which is, if I'm not mistaken, fairly new for YFM. But anyway, now it's time for the third part. And this one is completely different, and on a side note, my favorite of the two. The music is way more intense to better reflect the ongoing battle taking place. The chorus is sung using a different pace, and the music itself sounds just way different compared to the previous one, while still retaining this Orphan Tears chorus vibe to it. You know, you recognize it. Despite the fact that the story is kinda confusing, because I was pretty sure that Bill Cosby was just an hallucinogenic apparition created from DJ's mind, the fact that they not only using the reference to the Bill Cosby pudding joke from the first part is also excellent, but that is now just a predator boss kingpin that was using the orphans to make the drinks is just simply amazing. It's not only funny because it's a reference and a diss at a celebrity, but also a clever way to continue the story on a narrative level. Oh, and also that part. Punch and punch, he kept on clocking me. While he was doing it, he was doing comedy. It looks pretty funny, honestly, I hate to admit it, but I snapped out of it. The subtle commentary about celebrities doing atrocious action but still being legit talented is just fucking genius. Damn, that's some classic YFM right there. Wow, I just said it. And look, there's even another reference to Chuck Norris. Ah, come on, it's just too cool. Hold on. In conclusion, those two songs perfectly capture the YFM feeling with their amazing instrumentals and lyrics, these simplistic cartoonist animations, the subtle commentaries, and without forgetting the humor on top of that all. Also, even if I would have previously put the first Orphan Tears song into the funny category, now I definitely feel compelled that they all need to go into the Cathartic one due to their story elements and their amazing final climactic boss fight. Oh boy, this was amazing. But oh wait, I was about to wrap up the video, but another song just is coming out apparently? Wait, I'm not even done with the script yet. Well, I guess I have no choice but to check it out, I guess. Oh my fucking god, it's amazing. This is just the music, the social commentary, jokes about celebrities, the list of examples. Oh shit, I'm just reading the comment left on the video, huh? Well, yeah, this song perfectly, yet again, encapsulates what made YFM great in the beginning and pushes it even further. Come on, seeing Puffs having his whole life being turned around to the extreme thanks to a blue icon is just so damn funny to me. What I particularly love about this song, other than the catchy chorus sung by DJ, the list of amazing enunciation of satirical stuff, and its amazing climax at 1.50 minutes, its awesome interpretation. I love that all of the amazing things Puffs was thinking about in the clip was simply a dream induced by the news of him being verified, making his imagination go wild by thinking that meaningless verified status attributed probably for free by some Instagram's AI will change his life for the better without having him to do actually anything to earn this respect that he craves so much. Not only this is hilarious, but also subtly highlights how lazy and approval hungry people are nowadays. The other best thing is the emphasis at the end that all of this was just virtual through the action of Grandma's brutal comeback to reality by telling him to wake up and do boring chores. The phone's battery dying could also be interpreted as a really nice symbolism, emphasizing how his phone is just but a medium to escape reality, showing in the process that sooner or later, reality always catches up to us. Damn, this was pretty cool, but I'm still conflicted as to which category I should put it into. I'm tempted with a cathartic one due to how, like douchebags, it shows someone full of themselves getting annihilated, but yet it's a pretty normal one and casual thing to seek for approval, and how this feeling can light up anyone's shitty day. So maybe emotional will be the right one, because we all kind of are like Puff in a way. But it's still so damn funny due to its criticism of society that I now feel compelled to put it in controversial too, or even the funny one, because it's just funny. Well, you know what? This made me realize that categorizing the songs is super hard in the end, due to how YFM has such a unique charisma and vibe to it. We saw that those 3 new songs encapsulate so well all of YFM had and was back in the day, while still being able to be new and tackle exciting societal issues, that it definitely answers my main previous question in the process anyway. So upon retrospect about everything that has been said, and in a final conclusion, I guess I was wrong to try to put the songs into categories such as satire, controversial, emotional, or even funny, as I think it is quite almost impossible to try to fit any of the songs into them. It is only now that I realize that, and I know it's kinda cheesy, but that Your Favorite Martian is such a unique mix of cool songs, bold lyrics, and fun jokes that I can't put it elsewhere than in the Your Favorite Martian category. It's been an amazing experience for me to revisit and analyze those new songs, and I just can't wait to see the future for Your Favorite Martian. I can't wait for them to positively mark another generation as they did with mine 10 years ago. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Time for me to do something else in the meantime while listening to those banger songs. Well, nah, this outro sucks. You know what? Let me rephrase it. See you in another video. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button, or else the only thing I'll be doing will be your mom.